From sleeping in his car to becoming a global household name, Steve Harvey's journey is one of the most inspiring success stories in modern entertainment. He transformed hardship into hustle, and that hustle into an empire. Today, his lifestyle is a dazzling display of success, a reflection of both where he came from and how far he's climbed. Steve Harvey isn't just a comedian or a television host. He's a multifaceted mogul with a personality as bold as his bank account. Whether it's hosting primetime game shows, authoring best-selling books, or commanding massive live audiences, Steve has turned every opportunity into a stepping stone for greater wealth and greater influence. But how exactly does Steve Harvey spend his fortune? What does life really look like when you've built a net worth in the tens of millions? Is it all about designer suits and private jets? Or are there hidden luxuries most fans never get to see? In this deep dive, we'll explore every corner of Steve Harvey's lavish lifestyle, from his opulent real estate and exotic car collection to the finer things that fuel his day-to-day life. We'll break down his rise to fame, the business empire behind the charisma, and the elite choices that define his world today. This isn't just a glimpse into wealth. It's a full-access tour of success, style, and the smart decisions that built it all. Steve Harvey was born Broderick Stephen Harvey on January 17, 1957, in Welch, West Virginia. Raised in Cleveland, Ohio, by a coal miner father and a devoted mother, Steve's early life was rooted in simplicity, discipline, and deep Southern values. Money was tight, but what the family lacked in wealth, they made up for in resilience and faith. Growing up, Steve juggled multiple odd jobs: mail carrier, carpet cleaner, even a boxer, all while chasing something bigger than himself. But success didn't come easy. Before his breakthrough, Steve endured some of life's harshest lessons. In the late 1980s, he found himself homeless, living out of his 1976 Ford Tempo for 3 straight years. He'd wash up in public restrooms, survive on limited meals, and take any stage time he could find just to keep his dream alive. Despite the setbacks, Steve never let go of the microphone. He kept grinding, believing that one big moment could change everything. That moment arrived in 1990, when he became a finalist in the 2nd annual Johnny Walker National Comedy Search. His hilarious delivery and commanding stage presence caught national attention. Soon after, he landed the role of host on It's Showtime at the Apollo, which propelled him into the mainstream. Throughout the 1990s, Steve's comedic timing and relatable storytelling made him a crowd favorite. He launched The Steve Harvey Show in 1996, a sitcom that ran for 6 successful seasons and cemented his position in pop culture. While many knew him for his laughter, few realized the discipline and perseverance that drove his career. By the 2000s, Steve Harvey was no longer just a comedian. He was a brand. His ability to transition across multiple platforms, including radio, television, and authorship, proved that his ambitions were far greater than the stand-up stage. Behind every joke was a man who had sacrificed everything to earn the spotlight, and once he had it, he made sure never to let it go. This relentless climb from poverty to prominence laid the foundation for the incredible lifestyle he enjoys today. It's a lifestyle built not just on talent, but on unwavering determination, a refusal to quit, and the courage to bet on himself, over and over again. Now, with fame and fortune secured, Steve Harvey's empire continues to grow. But to truly understand the scale of his success, we need to take a closer look at what fuels it today: his vast career portfolio and staggering net worth. Steve Harvey didn't just make it, he multiplied it. After securing his place as a respected comedian and sitcom star in the 1990s, Steve made a game-changing move. He stopped being just the talent and started becoming the business. In the early 2000s, while most comedians were chasing roles, Steve was building platforms. One of his most powerful decisions? Launching the Steve Harvey Morning Show, a nationally syndicated radio program that reached millions of listeners across America. It wasn't just funny, it was influential, blending humor, life advice, and faith-based motivation. And more importantly, it was highly lucrative. But Steve didn't stop there. In 2010, he took on a role that would redefine his brand, host of the iconic game show Family Feud. Ratings exploded. Steve's quick wit, expressive reactions, and charisma brought new life to the series, making it one of the most watched game shows in America, and turning Steve into a global name. It wasn't just a hosting gig, it was a branding masterstroke. He later took on Celebrity Family Feud as well, doubling the exposure and multiplying the checks.
And here's where the numbers start stacking up. Steve Harvey reportedly earns over $10 million annually from Family Feud alone. Add in $20 million plus per year from his radio ventures, speaking engagements, book sales, and brand partnerships, and you're looking at a serious financial ecosystem. Conservative estimates place his net worth around $200 million as of 2025. But here's the real flex. Steve doesn't just earn, he reinvests. He's the founder of Steve Harvey Global, a media company that owns the rights to international versions of Family Feud, including versions in Africa. That's right, Steve Harvey is building generational wealth not just in America, but across continents. He also runs multiple businesses under this umbrella, including Harvey Events and Harvey Productions. And let's not forget his books. Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man wasn't just a bestseller. It was a cultural phenomenon that led to a blockbuster movie franchise. So when you ask, how does Steve Harvey afford the luxury? It's not luck. It's leverage, diversification, strategic positioning. But here's a question for the viewer. If you had $200 million, how would you spend it? Because for Steve Harvey, spending is as intentional as earning. He doesn't just collect toys, he curates his lifestyle. Every dollar spent tells a story of survival, of celebration, of self-respect. Up next, we'll unlock the doors to the homes Steve Harvey calls his sanctuaries. From Atlanta to Los Angeles to his European getaways, his real estate is as bold and powerful as the man himself. And trust us, one of these mansions will absolutely blow your mind. When you hear the name Steve Harvey, you might think of sharp suits, million-dollar smiles, or high-energy comedy. But behind the public persona is a man with a true passion for living large, and nowhere is that more obvious than in his jaw-dropping real estate empire. Let's start with the crown jewel of his property portfolio, a 17-acre mansion in Atlanta, Georgia, once owned by none other than Tyler Perry. Yes, that Tyler Perry. The price tag, reportedly a cool $15 million. But what Steve got in return is nothing short of a palace. This estate isn't just a house, it's a compound. Think marble floors, gold accents, towering ceilings, and private access to the Chattahoochee River. The property boasts 7 bedrooms, 9.5 bathrooms, and even a massive underground ballroom with crystal chandeliers. Add in a fitness center, library, 2-story closet, tennis court, and a world-class home theater. And it starts sounding more like a luxury resort than a personal home. But here's the thing. This isn't Steve's only kingdom. Over on the West Coast, Steve owns a stunning mansion in Beverly Hills. Nestled in one of LA's most exclusive gated communities, this property, valued around $8 to $10 million, offers panoramic views of the city, an infinity pool overlooking the hills, a fully integrated smart home system, and interiors that scream custom everything. The kitchen? Chef grade, with imported Italian marble countertops. The living room? Glass walls that disappear at the press of a button, blending indoors with outdoors like something out of a movie. It's the kind of place designed not just to impress, but to remind visitors that they're in the presence of royalty. But Steve doesn't just invest in American soil. In recent years, he's reportedly expanded his portfolio to include vacation properties in the Caribbean and Europe. Though the details are private, insiders say he's particularly fond of island retreats, places where privacy, peace, and perfection all meet in one breathtaking location. And that's no accident. Steve Harvey isn't just buying luxury for show. He's investing in experience. His homes aren't merely shelters, they're sanctuaries, designed for relaxation, family gatherings, private celebrations, and high-level business strategy. In fact, many of his homes double as creative headquarters, where production meetings, pitch sessions, and brand deals happen behind closed doors. And here's a question to pull in the viewer. If your home had 17 acres, a ballroom, and a theater, would you ever leave? What's parked in the driveway is a whole other level of elite, because when you're Steve Harvey, the house may be massive, but the car game? That's where things get personal. But even with all these mansions and hideaways, Steve's approach is rooted in practicality. He buys smart, invests long-term, and always ensures the property fits into his larger brand strategy. Every location he owns tells a chapter of his success story. Atlanta symbolizes his southern roots and love for family. Beverly Hills represents achievement, status, and global relevance. The vacation homes? A reminder that freedom is the ultimate luxury, and that's just real estate. What's parked in the driveway is a whole other level of elite. Because when you're Steve Harvey, the house may be massive, but the car game? That's where things get personal. Let's take a drive into Steve Harvey's ultra-exclusive car collection, where horsepower meets elegance, and every vehicle has a story. When it comes to Steve Harvey, walking into his garage is like stepping into a luxury car showroom, with a twist. Because these aren't just cars. They're statements. Each one represents a different chapter of his life, a reflection of taste, success, and unapologetic swagger. Let's start with the showstopper, a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Price tag? Around $500,000, before customization. And knowing Steve Harvey, it didn't leave the lot without upgrades. The Phantom isn't just any car, it's the pinnacle of prestige. Whisper quiet, handcrafted, and fit for a king. For Steve, it's more than transport, it's a throne on wheels. Next up, his Bentley Mulsanne. Sleek, powerful, and dripping with old-school elegance, this beauty often plays the executive role in Steve's lineup. Whether he's heading to a television taping or a black tie gala, the Mulsanne makes a silent but commanding entrance. But Steve doesn't just stick to British luxury. He's also been spotted in an ultra-rare Ferrari 488 Spider, known for its blistering speed and sculpted design. It's bold, red, and loud, a perfect match for the high-octane chapters of his career. And for daily cruising? Word is, Steve keeps it smooth in a Mercedes-Maybach S-Class, combining comfort with cutting-edge tech. Massaging seats, ambient lighting, and more legroom than a first-class cabin, because even his commutes are VIP. But Steve's lifestyle doesn't stop at four wheels. He also enjoys the skies, often chartering private jets for business trips, speaking engagements, and quick weekend getaways. While he's not publicly confirmed owning a jet outright, insiders say he frequently flies private, and some believe he has fractional ownership through elite aviation networks. And here's a question to loop in the viewer. What would your dream garage look like if money were no object? For Steve Harvey, the answer is balance. And then there's the vacation game. Steve Harvey doesn't just take vacations, he experiences them. Think private villas in Italy, seaside resorts in the Caribbean, and luxury safaris in Africa. Often traveling with his wife Marjorie, Their getaways are designed with ultra-privacy, breathtaking views, and five-star service in mind. One recurring favorite? St. Bart's, the billionaire's playground. Steve and Marjorie have been seen enjoying luxury yachts, boutique shopping, and sunset dinners that cost more than most people's rent. But for him, these aren't just escapes, they're rewards. Moments to pause and enjoy the freedom he fought for. And freedom for Steve Harvey also means giving back. Behind the luxury is a heart for philanthropy. Through the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation, he funds mentorship programs for fatherless youth, education initiatives, and community uplift projects. Every year, he hosts leadership academies and scholarship drives aimed at creating a better path for the next generation. So while the lifestyle sparkles on the outside, there's purpose behind the shine. Now, let's dig into the hidden luxuries, the kind most people don't even think about. Steve is known to have a personal chef, not just for meals, but for dietary discipline. His chef prepares customized nutrition plans, keeping him energized through long days on set, radio shows, and public appearances. He also invests in elite wellness, including private gym facilities, personalized fitness coaching, and massage therapy integrated into his routine. Some insiders claim he even has mobile wellness teams when traveling. Then there's his home tech ecosystem, rumored to include AI-controlled environments, biometric security, climate-zoned comfort systems, and voice-activated everything. Steve Harvey doesn't press buttons. His home responds to him. And here's something few know. Steve is reportedly passionate about collecting art and rare decor. Not just any pieces, but curated selections that blend African heritage, modern minimalism, and timeless luxury. To him, art is not just for display, it's legacy. Which brings us to the bigger picture. Yes, Steve Harvey enjoys the best life has to offer, but behind every indulgence lies intention. He doesn't buy luxury for luxury's sake. He buys with legacy in mind, with image, with strategy, with self-respect. And maybe that's the biggest lesson here. Steve Harvey's lifestyle isn't just about what he owns. It's about how he honors what he's built and how he uses it to inspire the world. So what does a man who has it all still chase? That's the beauty of Steve Harvey. He's not chasing anything anymore. He's choosing. And up next, we wrap up this journey through Steve Harvey's empire with one final look at what it really means to turn a dream into a dynasty. Steve Harvey's story isn't just about wealth, it's about willpower. This is a man who once had to choose between eating or putting gas in his car. A man who lived in parking lots, cleaned up in public restrooms, and performed in clubs just to scrape together enough money for the next meal. But he never stopped believing. And that belief, forged in hardship, paved the way for everything he has today. The mansions, the exotic cars, the tailored suits and private jets, the global brand, the loyal audience, the generational wealth. What's most impressive, though, isn't how Steve Harvey spends his millions. It's how he earned every single one. Through discipline, through reinvention, through faith, through vision. Because the truth is, Steve Harvey didn't just wake up rich, he built it, from nothing. And he did it on his own terms, laughing, learning, failing, and rising higher every time. So if you're watching this and wondering, can I do something big too? Take this as your reminder. The answer is yes. Success leaves clues, and Steve Harvey's entire life is a blueprint in progress. Let us know in the comments, which part of Steve's lifestyle inspired you the most? Was it the mansion, the cars, the mindset? And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, because we've got more deep dives into the world's most extraordinary celebrity lifestyles coming your way. Who should we feature next? Drop your suggestions below. Your favorite star might be our next story. Class meets comfort. Performance meets prestige. But there's another layer to this: style. Steve doesn't just drive luxury, he arrives in it. His car choices are strategic, Public events, Rolls-Royce, family outings, Maybach, need to make a statement, Ferrari. Each vehicle is part of a calculated brand narrative, one that whispers wealth without screaming it. And it's not just about flexing horsepower, it's about matching lifestyle to legacy. Because for Steve Harvey, every turn of the key is a reminder of the road he took to get here. From sleeping in his car to owning some of the finest in the world, the journey has always mattered more than the destination. But if the cars say a lot, wait until you see how Steve Harvey lives behind closed doors. Up next, we're diving into the finer details of his personal life. The suits, the luxury habits, the vacations, the indulgences, and yes, the hidden luxuries that don't always make headlines. Because while the mansion and the Maybach are impressive, what Steve surrounds himself with day to day might just surprise you the most. If Steve Harvey's cars and homes showcase his status, it's his daily lifestyle that reveals the true depth of his success and the discipline behind it. Let's talk style first. Steve Harvey is more than a fan of suits. He's a walking brand. With a wardrobe that could rival a high-end fashion house, he's known for custom tailoring, bold prints, crisp lapels, and those signature wide-brimmed hats. His stylists have shared that many of his outfits are one-of-one designs from luxury labels like Tom Ford, Dolce & Gabbana, and Oswald Boateng. But Steve doesn't just wear clothes, he curates statements. Each look is strategic, each fabric tells a story, and when you're broadcasting to millions, image isn't just vanity, it's equity. Speaking of image, let's peek behind the curtain. Steve reportedly spends tens of thousands a month on personal grooming, from high-end barbers and skincare specialists to top-tier colognes and wellness routines. Word is, he even travels with his own barber, ensuring he's photo-ready no matter where he is in the world.